And we'd like to welcome everyone to our Orange County CUE TechFest. My name is Stacy Klein. I'm the Orange County CUE Board Secretary. I'm a teacher in the Santa Ana Unified School District and an instructional coach. And I'm so excited about this presentation with KiwiCo because I am a STEAM and robotics and coding teacher. And my colleague Megan is also on our board. And what would you like to share what you teach, Megan, before we start?
I'm a 5th grade teacher in a dual immersion program, and I also used to be the FLL robotics coach at my school as well. So I do have some experience with some robotics and engineering programs.
Yes, and tell us the story about your purchasing these Kiwi kits before we get started.
I'm really excited to get this, the Tinker kit today with friction climbers. And I'm also interested in the walking robot, so I'm curious to see what Kiwi's all about.
And Megan and I were talking about how to get funding for these kits, and we have parents that are donating and donors choose. So without further ado, the amazing David Grijalva and Brian Sue will present today. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, no, happy to be here. It looks like we have a little bit of an intimate session, but that's okay. And usually whenever I see us presenting after the lunch hour, I get a little bit worried. And so maybe we lost some people after lunch, but I was looking at what you guys were doing during lunch, and it's sort of a perfect lead in for this discussion because we really are about, inspiring creativity in kids and figuring out how to build their self-confidence by problem solving. And that's what our kits are really all about. And so without further ado, why don't I just jump into our presentation here. So we're calling this Inspiring Young Innovators, and that's really sort of the rallying cry for the company. And so, this is, you have a few projects already in your hands that you'll see throughout this presentation. There's more examples of things that we do, including this one, which are maker kits that make little race cars that you can race with each other, little wind-up toys. So anyway, our vision at KiwiCo is to equip children with the creative confidence to change the world. We really believe that the two words, creativity and confidence, are key to what you want to inspire in kids so that they can go on and really do great things in the world. If you have the creativity and you can unleash that and you have the confidence to go and do that, the world's your oyster and the sky's the limit. And so we really take that to heart in everything that we do. And that's literally our mission for the company. Moving forward here, the way we do that is through our hands-on STEM and STEAM projects, which you're holding in your hands here. The one shown here is a little catapult. And really fun project for kids to get involved with. But our projects are thoughtful. They really think through what's the child going to go through as they build these things. We also pair the project with enriching content, so you really get the idea of the concepts that are behind it, the educational concepts, and the things that we want the kids to learn as they're doing this going forward. And then we also have instructions that aren't made for parents, they're made for the kids. We want the kids to kind of go through this on their own and to problem solve and to figure out how this works. And so we do user interactive testing in order to get to the point where these are appropriate for kids. So it's challenging, but it's not so hard that they are going to get frustrated and throw the thing across the room. So, hands-on stuff, makerspace type stuff, that's kind of our specialty. Moving forward here, our goal in every single project is to have this moment that we call, whoa, awesome. So it's the moment when a kid, is building the thing. They're not quite sure how it's all going to turn out, but there's this moment when it finally works. It's all together and it does something super interesting and super cool to the point where we want them to say something to the order of, whoa, awesome, right? It's this light up moment. It's the light bulb moment where they're like, that's really cool. And I did that. And that's probably the most important thing is getting to that point where the kids feel like they accomplished something. And so, this picture was actually taken at one of our testing sessions where we put whatever we're building in front of the kid and we're looking to see if there's that moment that happens. And if it doesn't happen, that's not a project that we're actually willing to put out in the market. And if it does, then we iterate on it and we get to the point where we feel good about that. But that's the whole point of what we're doing. Okay, so a little background about us. This is a picture of our founder, Sandra Lynn. She's a mother of 3 now. When she started the company about 10 years ago, she was a mother of 2. So she was doing a startup and having a 3rd kid at the same time, which was no small feat. She's an engineer by education, and now she's the founder and CEO of a company that's in the kids makerspace. And so, you can see the quote there. It really is about the creativity and the curiosity and helping teachers and parents to bring this intersection of enriching and fun to kids. And so, like I said, we're about 10 years into this journey. We're up in the Bay Area, so we're up north. Started literally in Sandra's garage. She started making these little maker kits, and she was putting them in little Ziploc bags, and she was mailing them out to people. And eventually, we got to the point now where we've got a warehouse, and we've sold 20 million crates. And I think that number actually needs to be updated, but we're well over 20 million crates at this point, and we actually sell in 40 different countries. So that little baby has grown up, and we'd like to think that that's because we put so much care into the product. It's really about the product that we put out there. We're not a super flashy company, and we don't try and fool people into things. It really is about the thoughtfulness of the products. And so, as I was talking about earlier, we spend a lot of time on development, 1,000+ hours on average for the development of each crate. So we bring in educational experts, we bring in developmental experts, and we test with kids until we get to that point where we feel like the kids are actually going to be enriched by it. It's going to be fun, and there's that whoa, awesome moment. Going for, and by the way, if there's any questions along the way, since we're such a small group here, feel free to just chime in. So
Okay, I'm going to chime in then.
Yeah, go for it.
If you ever need a classroom to use kids as guinea pigs for 2nd grade, please reach out to me.
That's
because awesome. This has completely changed how I teach. When I went through the Orange County cohort a few years back, and I just wish more teachers would adapt to this. And I know in our school site, there are 3 of us who are trying to get it moving, but it's taking time. And I think the more they see the kids absolutely love it, the more we can get more staff on board.
Yeah. Well, thanks for bringing that up, and we'd be happy to take you up on that. We do a lot of testing in the classrooms. We tend to do it local to where we are, just so that we can have people get out there and observe what's going on. That, of course, is when there are classrooms to go to. Right now, it's a little bit more difficult to do, but we would definitely like to take you up on that. Yeah, so who we serve. So obviously we have a big component of our business is selling direct to consumers. And so that's moms and dads and kids in their homes. And that's where a lot of people find out about us. And like you were just saying, once people use the product, word gets around. And the great thing is that because every kid has a parent, every kid also has a teacher as well in a school. And so word has gotten around with the schools as well. And so we do a lot of business with educators such as yourself now. I think at last count, we're above 500 schools served, 700+ enrichment programs, variety of learning contexts, whether it's classrooms, maker spaces, homeschool curriculum, after school programs, and camps. We're covering the full spectrum, and I really feel like our products resonate in a lot of those different contexts. And we'll get into in a second the different products that we have. And then, we've done the work to sort of align our projects with NGSS and Common Core standards. And we find that helps, get funding to make sort of the case in the schools for, hey, why do you want to do this with your kids? I think it's pretty clear that the concepts that are taught in some of these, but just to lay it out more explicitly has been super helpful. moving forward here. So yeah, our products, there's three basic types of products that we're selling out there. We have the monthly subscriptions, and that's how we started this business, as a subscription box type company where every month you would get something. And the thing about the subscriptions is you sort of choose an age and you choose a general topic, and then every month you get surprised. So you don't know what you're getting, but that's part of the process of discovery, and it's part of the journey that we put kids on. And so every month something comes in, they don't know what it is, and then we of course want that whoa awesome moment so that they can't wait until they get that next one. We also sell on an individual project basis, so it doesn't make sense for everyone to buy a subscription. And then, or they just want to try us out, or they want, to buy something for an event and have, all 1,000 kids or all 500 kids have the same project that they can work on together. And we certainly do a lot of that as well. And we'll get into some of the examples of all of these in a second. And then the third one, which I don't think a lot of people know about, is that we actually have classroom packs as well. And so in the context of doing group projects or working together, project-based learning, and doing it in a group setting, whether it's classroom, camp, what have you, we also have offerings for that too. So I thought in the next couple slides, we'll just run through what some of those are. And in fact, some of the ones that we're going to talk about are in your hands right now. So yeah, the subscriptions, this is where we started our business. We started with the Kiwi Crate, and that's why we're actually called KiwiCo. We started with one line, and since then, in the 10 years, we've expanded to 8 different lines. And so we cover all ages, right? From 0, we like to say from 0 to 104. And so, the earlier stuff is really about developmental concepts and developmental activities. And then as you start to go into the school years, we start to get more and more specific. So Kiwi Crate is a great example of, it's a broad STEAM type of subscription where you're going to be doing a variety of things over the course of that subscription. And then when you start to get up into Tinker Crate or Maker Crate or Eureka, it starts to get pretty specific. Like Tinker's a very science and engineering type of thing. Maker Crate is very art and design type of thing. We also added Atlas Crate, which is our geography and culture line, to move in a little bit different direction, realizing that not everything is about science and technology, and that kids, should actually explore the world a little bit more. So the next couple of slides go into a little bit more detail. I think you guys kind of know who we are and basically what we're doing. So we'll kind of breeze through these a little bit. But the most popular ones for us in the school context is really the Kiwi Crate. So it's that ages 5 to 8, science, art, and more. The Atlas Crate, which has really gotten popular for geography and culture, and the Tinker Crate for more specific science and engineering. Okay. Yeah, so the Kiwi Crate, again, for ages 5 to 8, the project that's shown here is a great example of one of the crates that you would get. It's called the arcade claw. So I think everyone knows when you go to the boardwalk or you go to the arcade, there's that thing that you can use to grab the prize. And so we have the kids build one of those, and there's actually some pom-poms and things that you can pick up with it. But this one is super popular. It's great because it's broad, and it really introduces kids to all sorts of different things. There are crates in this subscription line that are more art and design based as well as science, and so it's really sort of a survey of STEAM. We talked about Atlas Crate a little bit. The one that's shown here is everyone gets the overview crate first, so it introduces the world to kids. You've got the big map, you've got you build the globe, and then you can see the little booklet there that gets into the different continents. From there, the subscription gets into different specific countries and going deep into those countries. So you make something that's sort of, represents the country, and you get to learn about it. And we've got some characters that run through the entire subscription. And so you're kind of going on an adventure with them through the world. So that's a super popular one. And then we've got Tinker Crate, which is really, really popular in the schools. Walking Robot is part of the Tinker line. So that's one example of what's there. The picture here is the automaton. So you build these machines and they do cool things, and these are really ones that dial up the whoa awesome type of thing. So it's a real science and engineering type of approach on this one. And then if you're not interested in the subscriptions, we've got these individual projects. We've got over 150 different things that we're selling now in what we call our KiwiCo store on an individual basis. And so there's a bunch of them that are from the line. So if you just want to pick out one, what we offer to the schools is if there's a particular one that you like that's in one of the subscription lines, we can just do that too. So, walking robot is a good example of that. A lot of people just, because it's into electronics and robotics, there's so many things that you can teach off of that. That ends up being one of our biggest sellers. You can get it as part of the Tinker line, or you can get it individually, but we've got a really wide variety of things. I mean, on the left side, froggy dissection lab, getting into biology and anatomy. It sounds really interesting, right? You're going to get kids into dissection, but we do it in sort of a cuddly way because it's it's a plushie. And so what you can't see here is when you turn over the frog, you can open it up and then you can see the organs. And so when I first heard about this one, I thought, really, that sounds like we're going to gross people out. And I'm not sure how well that's going to resonate, but kids love it. It's a very non-threatening way to learn about biology. Drip irrigation on the bottom left, that's another great one for teaching sort of the science of plants, right? Botany, photosynthesis, et cetera, et cetera. And then, of course, we have a whole bunch of different things that are around motion and mechanics and what have you. So yeah, 150 different things that we sell there. You can kind of pick and choose if you go to our website. So I'll just breeze through these as examples. For the younger kids, we have, introduction to chemistry. We do colorful chemistry. They're actually doing these little kits where you can make different colors and watch it sort of like bubble up. And you have all the things that you need to actually do that. Another super popular one that we just released this year is the Astronaut Starter Kit. And so you may have seen, if you follow us on Instagram, we actually had some celebrities, Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell actually did a little video for us where Dax Shepard was playing with this. And this was actually authentic. Like Kristen Bell was interested in KiwiCo and we sent them a crate and they actually put together a video and he was the one who was playing with it. And it looked like, like I said, from 0 to 104, Dax Shepard was somewhere in there, but, sort of introduces the science and astronomy aspect to kids in a super fun way. You get to learn about the planets. You actually get to build a little space shuttle that launches through some pressurization. And you learn a little bit about what it's like to be an astronaut. Yeah, and then we're really starting to spread our wings into a lot of different things. So this is the science of cooking, where you actually make your own bread and butter. So we don't deal in perishables, so you do have to provide your own flour and that sort of thing. But we give you all the tools, a little cook's kit, and you learn about things like gluten and yeast, and how does butter turn into butter. And so this is sort of like the everyday science that kids can sort of make that connection between, oh, these things that I learn in school aren't just stuff that teachers are telling me. I can actually see it in practice when mom or dad is cooking, or when mom and dad are doing whatever, or when I'm out experiencing the world. And so we're really trying to make that connection that this isn't an academic pursuit. It's actually a life lesson pursuit as well. Hydraulic claw, that's another one that's in the Tinker line. You start to get into robotics and motion and mechanics. We actually have a great video on our YouTube channel that's all about hydraulics and that accompanies this. And so we'll talk about that in a second. We offer a little bit more than just the products themselves. But this one's also a super popular one in schools in sort of the upper middle school range and above. Walking robot, you guys know about that one. Glow Lab. This is about chemistry and UV light and fluorescence, phosphorescence, and chemiluminescence, if you can get that out of your mouth. So that one's a little bit older just because of the things that you're dealing with, but you can see the whoa, awesome moment there on the top. And then the third category of products that we have are these classroom packs that I referenced earlier. And so, all of these are NGSS aligned curriculum. It's basically a lesson plan in a box. And so educators actually have a lesson book that's included with this, and it's for groups. So you get 10 projects in there, and we suggest that these can be worked on in pairs or 3s or 4s. So you can really have this kind of project for up to 40 students. So good for a good classroom worth of kids. And so right now we have 4 of them. There's a robot one on the left there. There's sort of a smaller version of the mechanical claw that we looked at earlier, a smaller version of the automaton, and then the one on the right is called the drawbot. So it's a robot that actually makes art. And so a little bit more involved. It's a bigger box, but it really is great for a good hour and a half, 2 hour lesson plan for the teacher. And then the last thing I wanted to bring up is that while we offer those 3 types of different products, we also offer a ton of online content as well. And so these are really resources that we've put together to augment and reinforce the learning concepts that are contained in our hands-on projects. And so we've got online videos by topic. So when you get the crate, you can go onto our YouTube channel and find, something around the Tinker crates that sort of tell you a little bit more about them. We've got instructional videos too. So if, you're not the type that wants to read the instructions, you can also get the video instruction guide as well for some of our projects. We also offer ideas for DIY projects, right? And so kind of the things that you guys were doing for lunch, things that would be related to a lot of the projects that we offer, get at the same concepts, but things that you can just do at home with the kids, or, if you're on a tight budget at the school and you want to kind of just work with what you've got, we've got plenty of ideas there. And we kind of pulled this all together this past year in Camp KiwiCo. I think I missed a slide in here. I had a slide in here that was talking about COVID, right? So when COVID first hit, we weren't quite sure whether we were going to be able to operate as a company. So when everything shut down, we weren't quite sure whether we were deemed essential, because we're not a school. We just provide to schools. So luckily we cleared that hurdle. And then so once we were able to stay open and keep our website open, we actually got a huge amount of demand from schools and enrichment programs and camps. And we were actually somewhat overwhelmed. There was a point during this spring and summer where we weren't quite sure whether we would be able to maintain, enough product for people. We were getting that many inquiries, and so great problem to have at the end of the day. But what we were seeing was, educators like yourself scrambling to figure out what the heck are we going to do during this time when we can't have classrooms, and how do I keep kids engaged, and what can I do to liven things up? And so we got a lot of inquiries, and we were able to help a lot of kids and schools during this time. Some examples are summer camps that were supposed to be in person that just shut down, and what were they going to do? Could they put together something quickly, a virtual camp, some kind of program? And we worked with these guys, and we partnered with them to put something together that they can do at home or via Zoom as a group project. And so that it was a really great experience for us. We also did a lot of helping in our own community. There were, a lot of school districts that are disadvantaged that we just did straight donations with, because we just wanted to help out. So, we're lucky because we were able to help out in a time that's really tough for others. And so we also learned a lot. And so one of the things that we did was we put together a virtual camp called Camp KiwiCo. That was the culmination of taking all the projects we have, plus all the online videos and content, and putting together we had 4 different camps. So there was a Tinker camp, an Atlas camp, a Kiwi camp, and a week's worth of activities. And so, you get the boxes and get all the content for free. And there were people that can sort of walk you through it. And so it was great. And, we will continue to do that. And especially during this time, we just want to be there for educators and parents to support their kids and keep them moving along during this time. I've got 3 kids. I know that they are, in jeopardy of getting a little bit stale. They are bored to tears being on Zooms all day. Their engagement levels are sinking by the day. And I think the teachers that have come forward with, ideas and things to sort of liven it up and get hands-on thing have managed to do a little better during this time. And so we're just really proud and really honored to be able to help educators through this. Let's see. So
Can I
that
give you a little bit of input on that?
Yeah.
That's where the struggle that I'm having with some of the things that I've come up with is that everything has to be disposable right now because we can't share. So I have to be able to create everything disposable for each individual student.
Yeah, that's awesome feedback, and that's something that we've heard a lot about. So we're
Brian, I'm so sorry, but the next session starts in 5 minutes in this room. I'm so sorry. I didn't get the link to your resources. It's not, the link is not public. So if you want to drop that in there, I'll put it in our
I will.
at a glance.
Yep. Okay.
I'm so sorry, everybody. You guys can also, if you go back to the main room, when everybody goes to their new session, there's only a few people in there, and you can continue to chat with people. That's a
Okay.
place to do that. But
This was our last page anyway, so we're done right on time here. I just wanted to get back to the question. We're working on reusable projects and much more recyclable projects going forward. We've heard that feedback, and we're definitely listening to that. And so look for some new stuff coming out soon. But really happy to be able to spend this time with you. You've got this page. We'll make this presentation available to everyone. Please do contact us. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. You have David's email here. We do group discounts. We do purchase orders. We'll help you with funding and grants. And we've got a promo code for you if you're interested in doing some stuff with us.
Yay, thank you so much. Thanks, you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, appreciate it.
And then did you want to drop the link to your presentation in the chat right now, or unlock the other one?
I'll unlock the other one.
Thanks, Brian. Oh, thank you again for presenting.